Hey there, today I'm back with our how to play chess for complete beginners, absolute beginners. Today I'm going to be going over something called checkmate. So those are two different things. Check means something, checkmate means something. They're both different. And what's interesting about both is they're they're very close to ending the game. There's something that you need to do to win or lose. So I'm going to be showing you some of that, and in the meantime, I'm going to show you something special at the end, just something quick. But let's start. So let's create a situation here where let's just say you don't have any of your pawns because it's easier for this. Let's pretend we're white on this board, on this chess game. And so let's put a pawn here and a pawn there. Just for, actually, let's put a pawn, sorry, let's put a pawn here. So what check is when you put the opponent's king in a threat of being captured. So let's say we have, and it's our turn, and our queen comes down and takes this pawn. Now what we have to say is check, because this is the king, and if our queen is here, it's threatening to attack this king. So the king will either have to move, it'll have to take it, or it'll have to block it. But at this point, it can't block it because there's no space in between the queen and the king. So let's check. And the rule about check is, first of all, you can't put yourself in check. You'll have to redo the move if it was an accident, or you'll just you're just not allowed to do it. So for example, if the queen is here and you have your bishop here, and it's black's turn and black does this, they're not allowed to do that because that's putting their own king in check, and we're not allowed to take their king and if they force the check. So, and when you check the king, for example, if you had, say, you had let's say the bishop was here, and if it's your turn and you decide to move the bishop, and then it's their turn to decide to move their bishop, and then you come down and take the bishop, you have to say check. So when you put the opponent's king in threat of capture, you have to tell them check. And by telling them this, that lets them know that they have to somehow move out of the way. Now obviously they can't move here because the queen can come down and take it like that. They can't move here, the queen can take it like that. So they can't really move the king. So they're going to have to either take it with the knight, which that is a good idea, or they could have taken it with the queen. But that was just an example, but just trying to show you what check was. Now, then there's checkmate. So I need a situation here where let's say that black's king was over here. You didn't have all this stuff. Your king was over here. Your queen, no, your knight was over here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, over here. You didn't have any other pieces because it's the end of the game. So since your knight is here, you had to say check if it was your turn and you just moved your knight down here. Because you're putting the king in check. So in this, sorry, let's say the queen was over here. So in this situation, the king can't move anywhere. He can't move here because this guy will take it, the king. He can't move here because the queen can take it. And he can't move here because the queen will take it. And he has to move. So he's in checkmate right now. Checkmate means the opposite king cannot move anywhere. And in checkmate ends the game. So if you get your opponent into checkmate, that means you found a way to attack their king without giving it any other options to escape. So if you can pause the video right here to look at the situation, how there's nothing he can do. Remember, they have to make a move. They can't just stay here. Even if they could, the horse would come take it, or the knight, sorry. they don't have any other pieces to move, and they have to move, and anywhere they move will kill them, and right here, they're in checkmate. In the future, I'm going to talk to you about stalemate and other mates, but right now, this is the most important one you want to focus on. Don't get yourself into checkmate. That's one of the no-nos of chess. So now I'm going to go over something called fool's mate. Now, fool's mate is a very interesting thing. So as you know, I was talking about openings in the last video, and I was saying how an opening is a move. If the first few moves of a game is called an opening, because you're opening the game up with a few moves, and you're starting the game. Now, fool's mate is an opening. It's a name. It's a name of an opening, and it's a very quick thing I want to show you here. I just think it's a very interesting thing you might want to learn, and for beginners, especially because if you're watching this, you're probably a beginner because you're trying to learn chess. But for beginners, it's very good to learn this stuff. So this is a 2-move checkmate. Now let's pretend we're black, because it's a 3-move checkmate if we're white. So let's say the first thing white does is this. Then we choose to do this. Then white does this. Now, can you pause the video and try to guess our next move? Remember, it has to put the king in check, so you have to do something on the board that'll put the opponent's king in check. And it has to be checkmate, meaning the king there's nothing the king can do. So have you guessed it? Well, you have to get your queen down here. Now first it'll look like, there must be something the king could do. But actually, this is checkmate. The king cannot move anywhere. If he moves here, he's still being checked by the queen. Sorry, someone threw out the king. He can't move his knight anywhere except there. He can't really, his queen is stuck. So this is checkmate. This is actually checkmate. And on the rare occasion that your opponent will start with this kind of thing, then you always want to start with this pawn. And I believe I told you that pawn is always the best opening. Well, for fool's mate, it's also the best opening. I might go over some more openings in the future, but I'm not going to do that right now because this is getting to a longish video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. And if you feel that something was confusing, I'll probably go over it in another video because I want to make sure everyone knows everything. If you're wondering how I have been recording, I've been using a website called Screencast, something like that, I forgot. And the chessboard is being used on a site called chess.com. So, hashtag not sponsored. I think I'm just going to end the video out here. This has been a pretty short video compared to the others. In our next video, I'll probably go over end games, which is the end of a game. I showed you one today of checkmate to show example. Sorry. And yeah, I'll go over end games in our next video. See ya.